Welcome back. I'm Lay, and this is my personal finance journey of nurturing net worth. You can download this budget tracker linked in the description below and start joining me on your path to freedom. So, for today's video, I'm going to go through my actual budget, um, the bill payment tracker, and doing my savings transfers. Okay, so for the first thing is tithe. I had already tithe on the 3rd. This would be the 17th here. So here in column F, I just put July 3rd and 17th. So I won't check this box just yet. Then the next thing is my phone and internet. So next, phone and internet, that was $80. It's the same every month. So then I will check off that that was paid. And next is the power bill. So for the power, it came to $266.59. And that is paid, so $266.59. Okay, so then I'll add that in the actual column here. So for the HELOC is paid out of the rentals for the house hack property. So the bill amount for that is $313. And I think I have just one more month. So next month is the last month that I have to pay off the balance of this HELOC. So the rents go to that second mortgage lien entirely to pay that. So that is also auto drawn from that HELOC savings account. This amount. So this is not something that I go to pay or transfer anything. That will pay itself from the savings account that's at that bank. So this is actually not right. This is a different bank. So yeah, that would just withdraw on the 29th. So once that happens, I'll check this box. So then next would be medical fund. So for that, I have to go to Capital One. So Capital One is where I keep my sinking funds. So for the medical fund, I transferred $50, and to the fund I transferred $45. So the medical fund is just like what I would pay my deductible out of, if not my HRA or any other like thing I might get from the pharmacy or something. Fund is just like anything else outside that would not be in groceries and supplies, just everything else. Car maintenance is going to be 0. I'm not going to transfer anything there. And then next I need to do my Roth, transfer $50 to Fidelity. So for my Roth IRA, I didn't transfer $50 last month in June, so it's going to be $100 for July. So the water bill is $65.98. That. And the mortgage is 1813.25. So next month for flood insurance, next month I'm going to right now the bill is $1,171. I'm going to spend, it's due 9/10, so I'm going to spend August shopping around for that and my home insurance too. Um, and looking for a new insurance company. So that is that. Um, but my last paycheck will be used to pay for that. And car insurance I had already paid for. I can show you that. So the reason why I don't put like my car fund is was already pretty well funded for the past couple years, so I have not been contributing to that, and I just pay everything out of that car fund. So I currently have Geico for my car insurance. That was $722, and that was paid on July. So I'll check that. Um, as for this, so let me fix this while I'm here. So 723, 723, and so I pay 6 months in advance, and I'll just do times two, and I expect for a year to pay about 1,446. So 1,446. If I wanted to budget monthly for that, it would be equals 1,446 divided by 12. So that's about how much I technically would pay a month for car insurance, which is actually less. It even decreased from the last payment. So usually that is, and that includes pretty much everything, collision and rental. Um, so that's pretty good for where I live, I think, and what I'm used to. So I had already transferred. So my budget is 250. Um, and what I do is transfer 250 from Wells Fargo to Capital One. And before I could do that, I had already spent some uh, Target and somewhere else. Hold on. So yeah, Target and Amazon, I had spent about 30 something dollars before I had did that transfer. Um, so then I only transferred 200 and like $10 and some change to Capital One. So these are my transaction out of that grocery fund in Capital One for the month. So that is my amount for the entire month. Um, so some restaurants, some ice cream, and a couple Home Depot trips. And yeah, before that I had an Amazon order and a Target run. So for hair, I don't typically anymore like go and say, okay, I spent $30 on um, Home Depot versus $200 on was groceries and $10 was miscellaneous. So I just take the whole 250, put it in that account, and whatever is there. Whatever's left over, and I know what I can spend that money on. So I'm not necessarily, as nitpicky or granular at this moment in the way that I do that. The only other thing after that this month is that I spent $7 on parking at the beach. So something like that um, would come out of either my car fund or fun fund. So I had spent that out of Wells Fargo, so I would need to just transfer that $7 back into Wells Fargo from Capital One. The issue with Capital One that I don't like is that they only give you one debit card, even though you have three or multiple checking accounts. So right now, that debit card is tied to my grocery fund checking account. And if I were to want to use that card to spend from my fund checking account, I would have to go in the app, say connect the card from the grocery fund and move it to the fund before I can charge the card. Um, but anyway, for whatever reason, when I got to the beach, the card was not, like the meter was not accepting that card. So I ended up having to use my Wells Fargo card. So I need to transfer that $7. Okay, so that seven, I just picked the car fund. That $7 for parking is moved back to Wells Fargo. Um, and then I just put a memo that that $7 is for parking. That $25 reimbursement that I get for my phone, um, I haven't figured out how to like quite keep track of that um, without having like a tied fund. But that $25, I want to put it back to like offering um, and just like extra giving. Um, but I haven't quite have a process for that. That just gets reimbursed back into Wells Fargo and just sits there. But like in my mind, I know that's what it's for. Okay, I'm back and I'm finishing off my actual budget for July. So the first thing is a tithe. So I'm not able to get my last pay stub right now, and I'll explain that in a future video. Um, so what I ended up doing is I do see that my last what was deposited into my bank account was more than my budgeted gross amount. Um, you can see there, but I don't know what that gross amount is. So what I'm doing is just tithing what I knew it at least will be, um, which is that 196.85 for the three paychecks. I'm going to check that off. Um, and then no car maintenance needed. I just contacted a flood insurance agent to talk to her tomorrow. So I haven't paid that yet, but that's okay. The only spending I really did, I went to for the tea party that I'll be going to in a couple weeks. I went to get like a fascinator hat and some gloves. That was about $11 and some change, and I took that out of the fund. BJ's and got some groceries, and I took that out of my grocery fund. Um, so this is gonna be the final budget then. So my net income was about $56 more than what I thought it would be. Um, the power was more than what I had budgeted to be, but we are in summer, so that is fine. Um, the flood insurance is kind of in limbo. So that is that. And as I do, I'm just going to put groceries. I spent 250 essentially because I transferred that amount to my fund, but really I think I still have like $15 in there unspent. Um, then for Tide, this is the 590, but so I'll just see once I can get that pay stub what the actual difference is that it actually should be at. I'm assuming it should be a little bit more than that. And then fund 45, medical fund 50, and Roth 100. So that was 50 more than what I budgeted. Okay, so my income for July was $4,832.53. Expenses $2,475.82. Savings and stewardship is $785.55, and net cash flow is $1,571.16. So, of that net cash flow, $1,171 is for my insurance as of right now. So, really, that net cash flow is $400.16. So, what I would do is place that in unemployment emergency fund or investment holding fund. Is definitely not going to be this one right as of now. 417 cents. Okay, so now I have the 1171 net cash flow. So that's all for July, and so the next video will be on my August budget. Thanks for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's improving their personal finance journey. Stay focused, stay consistent, and keep nurturing your net worth.